All right, thank you for staying with us. It's time for us to move on very quickly now. And let me just introduce to you my guest on this part of the show, Alfred Okoligwe. Good to have you on Sports Tonight once again this Friday.
It's a pleasure to you.
Yeah, I see you're in the mood to be in the South this weekend. That's where you
are. It's actually happening in Port Harcourt on Sunday.
Yes, you're in the mood already. I see the South sign on you.
And of course, I hope the welcoming party will be ready. China actually ran yesterday with I hope
the guys in Port Harcourt are getting ready for you. All right, we'll talk about that now. That's the big one this weekend. But let's start by showing you the fixtures. Enyimba will be playing from Group B, remember? But let's just show you the fixtures of games to be played. This is the biggest club competition on the African continent, and games are going to be played in Groups A and B. As you can see on your screen, looks like okay. Let's.
Anton Setif will play Mamelodi Sundowns in Group B.
Yeah, that's Group B.
Yes, Group B. In Group A, Zesco United of Zambia will play Al Ahly of Egypt, while ASEC Mimosa from Cote d'Ivoire, Wydad Athletic
Club of Casablanca.
Wydad Casablanca. Yeah.
And of course, in Group B, Anton Setif against Mamelodi Sundowns, who found themselves in the tournament after they thought they were crashed out. And of course, Enyimba against Zamalek. Alfred, the big one for us is Enyimba against Zamalek. I'm going to come to ask you what to expect in terms of what Enyimba should do. This is the group phase. It's not like a home and away. So Enyimba's first concern is 3 points. Whichever way they get it, it will be fine. 3 points, not home and away. So you don't need to be afraid that you concede a away goal or all of that. Just go for the 3 points. And of course, we'll talk about how the people of Port Harcourt have been mobilized, and the people of Aba have been mobilized to make sure that they fill up the stands at the Adoke Amisi Ameka Stadium on Sunday. We'll come back, talk about all of this and more after this short break. Join us again. All right, thank you for staying with us. It's time for us to talk now about the biggest club competition on the African continent. Is the CAF Champions League. You've seen the fixtures of Groups A and B, games to be played this weekend. Some games tomorrow. And of course, Enyimba will be playing on Sunday at the Adoke Amesi Meka Stadium in Port Harcourt. Alfred, it's a long time a Nigerian team got to the group phase, but Enyimba as a team are experienced. They've played this competition a number of times. They've played at this level a number of times, and they have a tricky game against Zamalek of Egypt on Sunday. How would you advise that Enyimba approach this game? Zamalek are coming with a depleted side. About 6 of their key members are not coming, but they are dangerous all the same.
Because they are Zamalek and they are Egyptian champions.
They are Zamalek and they are Egypt.
Yeah, when you talk about Enyimba being experienced in this territory, it's their experience will be for the way they manage the situation. But when it comes to the players on the field of play, I'm sure these are new territories for this set of players to really play. They would have, of course, some of them growing up playing for maybe some other clubs. We
remember the glory years of Enyimba.
Remember the glory days of Enyimba and what they've been able to do on this continent. I think Enyimba, we all know the kind of structure that they have. Playing this game, and questions have been asked about whether they will make it to this stage. For getting to the group stage in the first place, when they played against Esperance Tunis, we didn't give them enough that chance.
When they played Etoile
de Sahel, I beg your pardon. And when they had a healthy lead in the first leg, that did a whole lot of good for them.
And they lost the lead.
They lost that lead 3-0, but at least you could just know that we built on something. The next in penalties, and they are in group stage. So I think they deserve to be where they are presently. That same understanding that they've shown, and luckily for the club, they have the depth. Players who they registered, some of them tested campaigners, both in clubs that they played for and continental competition, because a couple of them have been to competitions like Chan. For those who know, they played other continental competitions. So they have the experience to that extent. And I think for them, the approach will be to, against the Egyptians, they know what the North Africans can do when it comes to showboating, winding you up, getting the referees to give them calls and all of that. Keep their patience. They did that with Etoile de Sahel, and they came out well. So I expect that kind of approach again for them. And for Ufom Udo, their striker, who he scored so many goals in the Champions League, the return in the league has not been that good. Perhaps he may find joy play in this competition, and hopefully a couple of goals from him. But like you mentioned, the key thing is not the number of goals. It is target 11 points, which means win your 3 home games, get 1 or 2 results on the road, and you are good.
Alfred, I'm going to ask what you would suggest if you are maybe the chairman of Enyimba, if you are in the shoes of Felix Anyasiagu. It's a long time Enyimba got to this stage, and they've won this competition 2 times back-to-back. Since that time, the best they did was semi-finals. Now, what can they do to get back to that level of rubbing shoulders with the best clubs on the African continent? And the trick for me is win all your home games and then try to pick a few points on the road. Is that going to work out for Enyimba, or what would you be advising?
That, like I mentioned, that's exactly what they need to do. Because traveling on the continent, you can't really tell what you get on the road. So it is safe for you to get your points at home. Nobody will want to do be Father Christmas you to allow you beat them at home. So the safest thing for the club to do is to win their home games. That's just key. It's given that for you to progress in this competition, you must. The key is win your home games. If you, like I said, the target is 10 points. 10, 11 points, and you are safe.
Ideally, 10 points gets into the semi-finals.
Gets you to the semi-final. You may not top the standings.
But you finish in the top 2.
Then you finish in the top 2. So 10 points, get your points at home, get the result 1 or 2 on the road. And I think if there's any team that is capable of doing that, this Enyimba side can, because on a good day, I've seen them play a couple of games. Yes, the results at the last 3-4 games at home may not have been good, but you know that the Nigerian Premier League this season, clubs have upped their game.
It's been good ground for Enyimba to prepare. But Alfred, the worry for me, it's not about the quality of Enyimba. The worry for me is that Enyimba are playing like a team playing home away from home. They are going to be playing at the Adoke Ameka Stadium. If this game was at the Enyimba Stadium in Aba, you can be sure that the stadium will be filled to capacity and the fans will motivate the players to give something extra. But in Port Harcourt, it's a different kettle of fish. And they have already provided buses. They've thrown the gates open for this game, just to make sure that they are able to get an appreciable number of people to fill that stands and cheer them on to victory.
If you say home away from home, this is not the first game they will be playing in Port Harcourt. I think
they've adjusted well to Port Harcourt.
They've adjusted well too. The Port Harcourt fans would have known that okay, the team they're going to play against is not a Nigerian team. So this is, forget the local league rivalry. It is a foreign.
This is Nigeria.
This is a Grade A international match involving Nigeria. And so I think they will get the support that they need. And especially for fans who want to see top flight football, it offers that opportunity for Port Harcourt fans. And I think they've adjusted well. Winning, they played 2 games before now in Port Harcourt, and they won both games.
Particularly their 3-0 win over Etoile.
That Etoile result was an excellent result for them. I think they've settled in well, and I don't think that that the ground issue would be much of an issue.
Or the lack of support.
Yeah.